All right, so you're here because you want to understand those fast talkers, right? The ones that leave you reaching for the subtitles every time.
Yeah, that can be so frustrating.
It really can. And today we're taking a deep dive into how to actually get rid of those subtitles for good and finally be able to understand fast speech. We've been going through a ton of research on this, and we're ready to share some practical techniques to help you level up those listening skills. So,
Yeah, I think a lot of learners feel like fast speech is this like huge insurmountable obstacle.
oh, absolutely.
And for good reason. I mean, one of the biggest things is just the way pronunciation changes when someone speeds up.
Yeah, it's definitely not like what you learn in the classroom.
Right. It's not that like slow, careful pronunciation you might hear from a teacher or in like a textbook recording. It becomes
Exactly.
way more fluid.
So, could you give us a few examples of just how much pronunciation can change in fast speech?
Absolutely. So think about a simple phrase like, it is going to be.
Okay.
In fast speech, that can easily become is gonna be,
Wow. Yeah.
right? Another common one is what are you, which turns into whatcha, or like how are you doing, which can sound like how you doing?
Okay, so the words are definitely getting shorter.
Definitely. And we also get those like common reductions like gonna for going to, tell for Dillum, did you for did you know,
It's like our mouths are taking shortcuts.
right?
And I think another big challenge is that unlike reading, where the words are just like there on the page, right? Spoken language, it just disappears as soon as it's uttered. You have to catch it in the moment.
That's such a key difference, yeah. Spoken language is ephemeral. It's here,
Mhm.
and then it's gone. You don't have the luxury of going back and rereading a sentence like you do with a text. Your
Exactly.
brain has to process everything so much faster.
Yeah, and I think something people often overlook is that even if someone isn't speaking like super fast, sometimes just a few unfamiliar words, in a sentence can make it feel impossible to keep up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gaps in vocabulary can really create a bottleneck.
Mm.
If you're constantly trying to figure out what a few words mean,
Mm.
the rest of the speech just like flies by.
Yeah.
And it can feel so much faster than it actually is.
Yeah, and I've definitely noticed that if I know all the words that someone's saying, even if they're talking kind of fast, it's not that hard to follow. But as soon as I hit like one word, I don't know, it's like my brain just stops.
And everything else just keeps going.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then on top of all that, there's the way words connect in spoken language. Like they kind of run into each other, especially when someone's talking fast. What's the term for that again?
That's connected speech.
Connected speech.
Right.
Yes. Basically, it's when the final sound of one word links to the initial sound of the next word.
Oh.
So like a simple example would be the phrase, get it?
Okay.
So the T at the end of get and the I at the beginning of it, they kind of blend together.
Ah, I see.
It almost sounds like get it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And sometimes vowel sounds link together too. So like, go away.
Yeah.
There's often like a subtle W or Y sound inserted between the two words.
It's like they're magnetically attracted to each other.
Exactly. It makes the speech flow more smoothly. We also get linking with consonants.
Oh.
Like in the phrase best time, the T at the end of best links to the T at the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And actually contractions like gonna, wanna, gotta, those are also forms of connected speech.
Oh, that's right.
They help to streamline the sounds.
And trying to process all of this, the pronunciation changes, the connected speech, the speed, the unfamiliar words, and doing it all in a new language, it can be so mentally exhausting.
It definitely adds to cognitive overload.
Yeah.
You're already working hard to process a language that's not your native language.
Right.
And then you add on top of that the speed, the variations in pronunciation. It can be very taxing.
Absolutely.
And plus, you've got different accents in the mix too, right?
Oh, of course.
Which adds a whole other layer of complexity.
Right. And I think one of the biggest issues is that a lot of the English that people learn in a classroom setting, with a teacher, it's so much clearer and slower than what you actually encounter in real life.
Absolutely.
It's like we're not really being prepared for the real speed of things.
Yeah. I mean, standard language instruction, it really does often prioritize clarity.
Which is great for beginners, but
Yeah, which is important, especially when you're first starting out. But it doesn't always reflect the realities of like rapid natural speech.
yeah, exactly. So we've talked about all the hurdles now. What can people actually do to improve their listening comprehension in general?
Okay, so for starters, choose content you actually enjoy listening to.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right. If you're interested in the topic, you're going to be way more motivated and focused.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of trying to catch every single word, focus on getting the main idea first. like get the big picture.
Yeah.
So if you think about a sentence like, the big tiger chased the small mouse for its dinner, you probably understand what's happening even if you miss a word or two, right? Like
Yeah.
you get the gist.
Yeah, I get it.
So practice that. Practice getting the gist first. Another great tip is to practice active listening. So like while you're listening, try forming questions in your mind,
Oh, that's a good idea.
right? Like what's the speaker talking about? What are the key points?
Okay. What else can people do?
Create an immersive environment.
Mm-hmm.
Surround yourself with the language as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried shadow reading?
Oh, yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, so that's where you listen to audio and read the transcript at the same time.
Mm.
It's really helpful for connecting the sounds to the written words.
Right.
Also, incorporate some passive listening into your routine.
Yeah.
Just having the language on in the background while you're doing other things. It helps you get used to the sounds and the rhythm of the language.
Yeah, familiarize yourself with it.
Exactly. And then engage in extensive listening with diverse materials. So podcasts, audiobooks, news broadcasts, anything you enjoy.
Yeah.
And try gradually increasing the difficulty as you go.
So start with easier things, then move up to harder things.
Exactly. Another really effective technique is to combine listening and reading using transcripts.
Oh, yeah, like subtitles.
Yeah. So a helpful method here is what's called the 3-1-1 method.
The 3-1-1 method.
Yeah. So you listen 3 times without the transcript.
Okay.
Then you listen once while reading the transcript. And then you listen one more time without the transcript.
So you're getting multiple exposures.
Exactly. And this can really help solidify your understanding. And then don't forget to practice speaking yourself.
Oh, of course.
Shadowing, where you repeat what the speaker's saying, can be really helpful.
Mm.
And recording yourself speaking can help you identify areas you need to work on.
Yeah.
And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Learning to understand fast speech takes time and practice. Don't expect to be perfect overnight.
Totally.
Set realistic goals and, try to build a tolerance for ambiguity.
Tolerance for ambiguity.
Meaning it's okay if you don't understand every single word. You can still get the gist.
Yeah. Focus on the bigger picture. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've got some great techniques for improving listening in general. But let's say you're faced with someone who's just talking super fast. What are some specific strategies you can use in that moment to decode what they're saying?
Okay, well, first of all, focus on the key words.
Yeah.
The nouns, the verbs, the adjectives, the adverbs. These are the words that carry the most meaning in a sentence.
Okay.
And pay attention to those signposting words, too.
Signposting words.
Yeah, the words that kind of guide the conversation. Like, however, in addition, for example, things like
Okay, so they give you clues about the structure.
Exactly. They help you follow the speaker's train of thought. Another great tip is to try to actively predict what the speaker might say next
Okay.
based on the context of the conversation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. So like if you know the general topic, you can start to anticipate what kinds of words or phrases might come up.
Mm-hmm.
And at least in the beginning, don't get hung up on unfamiliar words.
Mm.
Just try to get the main point of what the speaker's saying.
Don't let one word throw you off.
Exactly. And remember all those reductions and connected speech patterns we talked about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's really important to train yourself to recognize them.
Okay.
There are some really good resources out there specifically designed to help with this.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, like the Understanding Fast Speech in English.
Yeah.
A 20-day challenge. That's a great one.
Oh, okay.
It helps you really tune your ear to those fast speech patterns.
Nice.
And try to process the language in chunks and phrases.
Okay.
So instead of thinking about individual words like is, going, to, be, try to hear the whole phrase gonna be as a single unit.
Got it.
It can make the speech sound a lot less overwhelming.
So is part of this also about like literally training your ears?
Absolutely. You have to improve your auditory processing.
What does that involve?
So that includes things like auditory discrimination, which is basically the ability to tell similar sounds apart.
Oh, okay.
And phone recognition, which is recognizing the individual sounds that make up words.
Right.
Pay attention to intonation patterns, too.
Intonation.
Yeah, the rise and fall of the voice.
Mm.
It can give you a lot of information about the speaker's attitude and meaning.
Oh, interesting.
And there's some good auditory training programs and apps out there that can help with all of
Oh,
this.
cool.
Things like, let's see, Hear Builder, LEC, Angel Sound,
Okay.
Listening Power Preschool, Fast Forward.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot of options.
Yeah.
And actually, believe it or not, learning another language can also improve your overall auditory processing skills.
Oh, really?
Yeah. because it forces you to pay attention to the new sounds and sound combinations.
That's cool. And I'm guessing context is also super helpful when you're trying to decipher fast speech, right?
Oh, context is crucial.
Yeah.
Your background knowledge on the topic, the surrounding words,
Mm.
even just understanding the cultural context
Hmm.
can significantly boost your comprehension.
It all helps you fill in the gaps.
Right.
So I'm sensing a theme here. Consistent exposure and practice are key to making all of these skills stick.
Without a doubt.
Hmm.
Repetition helps your brain recognize patterns and consolidate what you've learned.
Yeah.
So use audio materials like podcasts, audiobooks, music. Maybe even try reading the transcript beforehand if you have one.
Okay.
With video materials like movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, try watching without subtitles first. Then watch with subtitles in your target language.
Okay, good tip.
And be mindful of the difference between active listening, where you're really focused and trying to understand everything,
Yeah.
and more relaxed, passive listening, where you're just letting the sounds flow over you.
Right. Both have their place.
Exactly.
And what about using playback speed controls?
Oh, yeah. Those can be really valuable tools.
Hmm.
So slowing down audio can definitely help you catch individual sounds and understand pronunciation, especially in the beginning.
Right.
But then gradually speeding up audio can help train your brain to process faster speech.
Makes sense.
A lot of media players have these controls, YouTube, VLC, Audacity, Audipo. There's also a browser extension called Video Speed Controller.
Okay, cool.
But try not to rely on slowed down audio too much. It can actually distort the natural rhythm of the language.
So it's all about finding that balance.
Right.
So it sounds like understanding fast speech, it's a combination of building a strong foundation in the language and using specific techniques to tackle the speed itself.
Precisely. It's a journey that requires consistent effort and the strategic application of these methods.
It's like a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
So for everyone listening, think about which of these techniques really resonates with you, which one you might try implementing first. That's your starting point.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.